our guest, Mr. Mattias Wallander, CEO of USAgain. And Mattias, how are you? Welcome.
Good. Thanks. Good morning.
Yeah, we just wanted to talk. We've had some people on last week. We had the fellow from Better World Books, David Murphy, and I've read your story here. And it's a company that's growing. It's a company that's doing well. You guys are in about 8 cities now. Why don't you give us a quick story about how it all got started? What do you guys do?
Yeah, we started back in '99 in Seattle. We could see from EPA statistics that enormous quantities of clothes and shoes went to landfill, and something like 85% of all clothing that's consumed is going to landfill. So we started setting up convenient drop-off locations in the Seattle market, and we have been able to expand continuously since then. So we're now in 14 states, and we have about 9,000 convenient drop-off points where people can bring all their clothes, all their shoes, all their household textiles, and we make sure that the clothing is reworn, reused, or recycled.
Now, so you're saying that before that, if you want to get rid of your clothes, you essentially, I guess, for lack of a better term, you took it to Salvation Army or somebody, but you're saying that only happened to like 15% of the stuff.
Correct. And it's all a question of convenience. Studies have shown that a majority will not go more than 5 minutes out of their way to drop off clothing. So if your local thrift store is a little bit out of your way and you have 5 bags to get rid of, maybe you don't take it there, and that's where we come in. We're not trying to capture any of the material that's already being collected. We're trying to capture the 85% that's out there going to landfill.
Can the stuff that is not resaleable? Now, obviously, this is for profit, right? There's nothing wrong with that. You guys are trying to make some money doing this.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah, we're a for-profit company. We have actually what we call a triple P bottom line: for people, for planet, for profit. And we look at textiles just like any other recyclable commodity. So just like there is a company that collects aluminum cans, we just focus on this material instead.
So I guess it's funny when I go through my closet, which I do periodically, and pull stuff out. I've always looked at something, because I bring my stuff, a lot of it down to the veterans, and I always look for something. Okay, I'm not going to bring them a shirt with a hole in it because I don't want a guy down there wearing a shirt with a hole. So I will throw those out. Or if I'm playing basketball with a hack like Matt, and he tears my shirt or something, I'll throw that T-shirt out rather than send it in. Matty, you caught that shot.
No, I did, and it's just untrue.
Yeah. So I guess what you're saying is you guys will actually recycle the fiber on something like that, won't you?
Yeah. Pretty much all of it can be, if it can't be reworn or reused, it can be recycled. And of course, most of the clothing we collect, it is rewearable. There is absolutely nothing wrong with it. Maybe it was a little too big, a little too small. That's 80% of the clothing. Then we have 20% that can either be turned into wiping rags or insulation material, but it can still be recycled.
Weren't they, I'm going to show my age, did they start making a lot of carpet padding out of recycled clothes?
That's correct. Yeah, carpet padding and, the insulation that goes under the hood in the car and inside the doors. That's also used textiles.
Now, you guys aren't up the chain. You don't actually have plants that do that, do you? You get those to people. Who's in that?
No, we don't. We focus on the collection, and then we wholesale the material. So one of our customers, they have a plant in California where they turn the textiles that can't be reworn into insulation material.
So theoretically, you guys would. One of your big customers would be the Salvation Army, and the stuff that they don't think is wearable. They would should still give stuff to you guys instead of throwing it out.
Right. Yeah. We deal with a lot of thrift stores. We both supply thrift stores with good clothes and shoes in the season when their collection is down, and we also receive material, the remains from their stores that they can't sell.
What do you do with the shoes?
Shoes are a very desired commodity worldwide. Especially men's shoes. We simply can't collect enough men's shoes.
You're kidding. I mean, I would never have guessed that. I would have thought you took that just because you had to.
No, it's actually people need shoes, especially in rural communities in third world countries.
Well, wow.
Do a lot of walking.
Matty, we're learning something every Friday.
We try.
So the people who, you guys actually, how many people do you employ in the Chicago area?
In the Chicago area, we have about 30 employees. And nationwide, we have about 175. How did
you get into this business? How'd you just? We've had some people on. Obviously, right now, if you're a welder or a tool and die maker, and I'm not saying you are, you could wait a long time for a job like that. Now you got to think of something else. How did you think this one up? It seems very natural and very commonsensical, but to be perfectly blunt, I would never have thought of it. How'd you do that ahead of me?
Well, I had friends in the business in Europe, and then I'd been working in the third world, and I'd seen the need for clothing, and also worked with selling used clothes in third world countries. So I came in from the demand side, you can say.
So you have a central place, I'm guessing, in Chicago. You have a bunch of collection boxes that if somebody wants to donate a little piece of their parking lot, you're willing to put one in there. And it's all, like you said, convenience is a thing, and you go pick the stuff up. Is that essentially what you separate it out somehow and then into 3 stacks and you send it different places? Is that basically how it works?
That's right. And if someone wants to find a drop box near them, they go to our website, put in their zip code, and it shows the nearest 3 drop-off locations. For our site sponsors, we have a revenue sharing program.
Oh, really?
A portion of the proceeds goes back either to the site sponsor, if they elect that, or to one of our preferred charities through our corporate giving program.
Is there somebody, is there a name that I don't want to throw anybody out there. Well, yeah, it's not like you can find them in, 50 jewel lot. Is there somebody who's a big, where you can more often than not find a spot or not? Or not really?
There are all kinds of locations. Grocery stores, Walmart.
So is Walmart sort of now, do you negotiate that, just out of curiosity, do you negotiate that with the individual general manager, or is it a Walmart, like if there's 50 Walmart stores in Chicago someday, are you going to be in all 50 lots, I guess is my question.
Oh, that's typically a store manager or a regional manager decision.
I'm actually somewhat impressed with Walmart, and this is not a show about Walmart, how much power they give the store manager in terms of buying stuff and everything else. Even the Sam's Clubs are fairly, again, it's not about them, it's about you today, but they give those guys a lot of leeway in terms of ordering and making decisions, it seems.
Yeah, that's what we have found. They have a lot of autonomy.
So, how many of if somebody wanted one of these things, they go to your website and they say, well, put one on my lot. Is it? Well, that's cool.
Yeah, exactly. And there is a sign up on our website, and then we send one of our salespeople out to meet with you and see where a suitable location would be. Is
it? What kind of traffic does one of those things do in a real, like a Walmart? Obviously, a lot of people go there. Are you emptying the thing once a week, twice a week? What do you get?
Yeah, at least once a week, but many of them are emptied 2-3 times, even daily. So we have advanced database tools where we scan each box every time it's emptied, and we track the volume for each site and are able to route our drivers so that they get there before the box gets full.
Well, one thing he could do is we go to that the thing every year at the auto show, which is the night before, and all the guys wear the tuxedos they bought like years ago. You could really do a thing there to get those guys 1 or 2 sizes up, because a lot of them don't still fit.
The chief, of course, is not included in that.
Well, I at least will go out and buy a new one every once in a while to get to the current size. I mean, instead of trying to squeeze in the one when I was 25. I mean, it just doesn't work. But so, do you do? I mean, who would you say is your biggest in the U.S.? I mean, in the city here, was there a place people can go buy things, or I mean, do you have a store?
We don't retail, so we just bundle up the material in half-ton cubes, and we load tractor trailers and 40-foot containers, and that's how we ship it to our customers.
So most of the customers, like you say, are overseas?
About 50-50. We also supply thrift stores in the region and companies that will sort the material in hundreds of categories and make best possible use out of each garment. So if it's a winter coat, maybe it gets shipped off to Eastern Europe. If it's a T-shirt, maybe it gets shipped off to Africa.
Who are the major recyclers? Who wants the stuff just to make? Who are those guys? Who makes it into carpet padding and stuff like that?
Yeah, there is this one big plant out in California, company called SOX. They have a really good system, and then there are a number of plants down in Texas that make wiping rags and.
I've actually seen those in totally recycled fiber. I mean, whenever I've seen them, I've tried to buy them, just because.
Yeah.
So you plunk those all in a container and plunk it on a rail and ship it to them, right?
Correct. And actually, a place where there is a big recycling industry for textiles is in India. So a lot of the clothing that's not wearable goes there and gets turned into new sweaters. And
so they actually turn into new. That's what I was going to ask you. Is what fibers? I'm not going to get too technical here. What fibers can actually be used again for clothes? I mean, is it wool or is it cotton? I mean, what can you actually take old T-shirts and make a new T-shirt?
Yeah, of course. Every time you reuse the fibers, they get shorter. But for example, polyester can be reused. So you have programs. I can't remember the company. Patagonia. They actually have a whole line of fleece vests and other garments where they recycle their old Patagonia garments and turn them into new ones.
Well, so you guys now, if somebody wants to find you, what's the website again?
It's USAgain.com, and that's USAgain.com. And
just go to the website, find out where the closest box is, put in your zip code, and then head over, and you guys will take shoes and whatever, and instead of going to a landfill, it's either going to go to a good cause. You guys are going to make a couple of bucks, but that's okay. It's going to be you're going to go to a good cause, or it's going to be recycled. Is that a fair? Well, that's cool.
And we're proud to be able to expand in a down economy. We've been growing 20 to 40% the last few years, and we're really we have a timely concept. I think that
Well, somebody wants to be part of it. Can they apply for any? Do you post your jobs online when they come up?
Absolutely, we have job openings all the time.
Well, that's great, Mattias. I thank you very much. We'll hope to have you back on. You take care of yourself, and we'll push you guys because this is a good idea. Because I always don't like it when I throw this. So from now on, if I'll bring my at least the stuff that I think they need down to the veterans home and all the rest, I'm going to find your box instead of throwing it out. I mean, that makes sense. If I'd have known it was there, I'd have been doing it all these years.
Great. Well, thank you very much, Tom.
All right, take care of yourself.